We can make miracles. If we do what we do for no money, and we do, because I got to say this, and I got to thank you because the reason I'm gonna tell you, Willie, they got so many 501c3s and organizations, and 99.9% of them are getting funded by the state. Yeah, part of, or some foundation or some stuff, and part of them getting funded, they have to agree that they're not going to organize politically. It's called hush money. Yeah. To squash the civil rights movement because they were organizing, and 99.9% of them are getting funded by the state. Yeah, part of, or some foundation or some stuff, and part of them getting funded, they have to agree that they're not going to organize politically. It's called hush money. Yeah. Mr. Lyndon B. Johnson came up with this 501c3 concept to squash the civil rights movement because they were organizing in the churches and these and so to them getting funded, they have to agree that they're not going to organize by the state. Yeah, part of, or some foundation or some stuff, and part of them getting funded, they have to agree that they're not going to organize politically. It's called hush money. Yeah. Mr. Lyndon B. Johnson came up with this 501c3 concept to squash the civil rights movement because they were organizing in the churches and these and so to stop the organizing, they started flooding money with the caveat, don't y'all say nothing. That's what I'm saying. Y'all better not say nothing. Y'all better not go too far. I'm going to pull your funding. Well, we can't be...
All right. All praises to the Most High. This is one of the leaders of the, I'm pretty sure y'all recognize her, the new Black Panther Party. Wait, I know. A lot of Israelites saying we do not subscribe to secular organizations working to deliver the people out of the hands of the devil, right? Okay, that's what, but God will use whoever he want to use. In this particular time that we're going through, we have people, Israelite camps, and people, most of the camps, the biggest camps, and most of the majority of the Israelite camps are saying, we will not fight because the Bible says we should keep the laws of the land. We will not fight. Our enemy is too great. We'll whisper, we'll holler, we'll whisper out the judgment of the wicked, but we will not stand against them. That's what's happening. That's what they're saying. I know y'all want to probably feel like, hey, we hate this guy, Obed Israel. What is he doing? What is he doing? Look how great we are. He's doing nothing. He don't even have followers on YouTube. Well, a lot of the problem is that I'll show you the problem with our camps, because that's what I'm addressing today, is trying to get our camps and our people to look at this, what's happening today, us uniting. The problem with us, the reason why we won't unite as one people, I want to go back and show you some other things this lady said at the beginning of the video. Fair use. But I'm going to show you the reason why we won't unite. I'm trying to be a mirror and show you yourselves. All right, I'm going to show you your thinking, because a lot of us as black people and black Israelites and whatever, African Americans, indigenous people, we are full of fear, right? But I'm going to show you how to get rid of that fear. The only way you're going to get rid of that fear is have a victory. You got to have a victory. And right now we're too afraid to stand up and confront our enemies. We won't even come together because we are afraid that our enemy is going to view it as a threat and just start deleting us. I'm going to show you all about that thinking too. How victorious men in the Bible overcame that fear. To overcome that fear, it takes not a bravery, but not so much of bravery, but in the state we're in now is the best state we can be in to overcome fear and to stand, because what does that take? What do you have to do to be able to go out and say, well, we're going to stand against, resist the devil, he'll flee from you. Stand, who will stand, like the Most High said, who will stand with me against the evildoers? Only a people who are sick and tired and feel like they have nothing else to gain from this wicked kingdom, right? They have nothing else to give you. They're not going to give you anything else. When you are convinced of that, then you'll stand up against them. When all the Most High is telling you to do is come together and stand in unity against this wicked doer. But we don't feel like there's no power in that. So I'm going to show you what this is a very brave, powerful lady. And the group that she's with, they are not voicing their Israelite heritage right now, right? It's enough people out here. We know who we are. There's enough camps and young men out here hollering, saying, we the Israelites. Keep the laws, that's fine. But there's some other work we need to do as far as gathering, to help us gather. And it's some smart people out here that understands the mind of the human mind. The mind, not the brain, the mind. When you understand the human mind, you can predict the behaviors, the future behaviors. And you can start setting yourself in a place to where when your opposers come up against you, they can see you positioned in such a way that will cause them to fear. Okay, let me show you this.
Crystal, welcome to the show.
We want to say fair use again. We're going to listen to Crystal. She's going to say some things. I'm going to try to point you right to them, but let's see. Let's hear her introduction.
Thank you, Willie Black Power. Thank you for having me here.
Black at you. Yeah. What evidence do you have that challenges the police ruling of suicide and Trey's death?
Well, there's a lot of evidence, and in particular, let me go ahead and just lay it on the line what we are dealing with here in this Trey Reed case. Delta State University and the city of Cleveland in particular, they just integrated their schools, their public schools. Their city is very much segregated. There's a black side and a white side. They were forced in 2017, you hear me, to integrate their schools. And the white parents were up in arms about it. The ones that could afford took their children out and put them in the private school, and the other parents started boycotting. This is in 2017. Now, why is this relevant? The high school is parallel across the street from the Delta State University. You know how Texas Southern University is set up?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're going to stop it right there. What she is doing is showing you the setup of segregated towns, and she's there's a benefit in being segregated, right? We can see that all through the scriptures. God separated us and set us apart. But there's some other things I want you to hear her say too about the segregation.
That number was, but he got into a fight with some boys the day before he was killed.
And you know, that's why getting on the ground and fact finding means a lot. Because the first interview when we came down here, we were trying to get all of the facts. And facts are still coming, trust me, on a daily basis. Yeah. But the initial thing that was told to us was that it was a physical altercation. Now, there was not only a social media argument going on, there's a trail of it that's being covered up. There are multiple suspects in this case.
As usual.
And multiple suspects in this situation. It's students that are eyewitnesses. There are workers on campus that are witnesses. But the police and the Mississippi Bureau of Cover-Up, that's their job, not the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation. Their job is to cover up these lynchings. And I'm going to tell you what it gets down to. Because we've been telling you guys case after case after case. Well, people know what happened, but they say nothing ever happens. If I say something, nobody's going to do nothing about it. Because those entities that should do something about it, covering it up, the police are covering it up, the politicians are covering it up.
See, so the main thing is what I'm showing you here is that we can't depend on the nations who hate us and is trying to kill us to give us justice. Simple as that. We can't depend on their laws to work for us. I'm just making a case here. Okay? Let's continue.
They want to act like there's nothing to see here, people. Move around. Don't talk about that. Americans change. They have a political agenda. They go around bullying people. And when people want to speak up, they're scared to death because the police and the so-called powers that be are trying to tell them, turn the other cheek. Y'all don't talk to those people. Be quiet. And they want to say something, but they're afraid because they're being intimidated by the same raggedy, Gomer Pyle police department that was so dumb to go tell 2 or 3 different lies.
You know, let's stop right there and talk about these lies. The lies, they have so many varying levels. Black people, how do they avoid getting themselves in these type of situations, and how do, when something like this happens, how do we really how do we get justice? Like, because it seems like justice is fleeting, you know, and so often in these cases, and every single time something like this happens, you're right. It's like in order for these cases to be covered up, it takes the people who are supposed to be it up.
Well, we have to do just like we did.
In charge of investigating, in charge of doing the medical examination to cover it up.
Okay, so, you know, that's what I call just being redundant and just talking just because you got a show and just trying to fill the void air, you know, because that's real stupid. It's really stupid thinking. It's not logic. It's not logically thinking. Your cognitive functionings are, you know, they're not working properly, you know. When you say, how can we get justice from a people who hate us, trying to kill us, is deleting us, how do we get justice? You shouldn't ask that question. It's a dumb question, what I'm trying to say. You don't ask yourself that question. You don't even put a question like that in the air. It should be a statement. We cannot get justice from these people. Why should we keep allowing them to have jurisdiction over us? Should be the statement made, right? Shouldn't be a question. How can was we ever gonna get justice? No, hell no, you ain't got justice in all this time, man. So common sense tell you, following their laws, being good citizens, saying, look, we keep God's laws. We law keeper. We good people. We are good leaders. You ain't leading nothing. You ain't leading nothing. They not gonna let you lead nothing. They don't care how much pork you deny yourself. They don't care how well you keep God's laws. They are glad that you will keep God's laws and not protect your people, that you won't fight back. Yeah, it's a sin to kill. It's a sin. We got to follow the laws of the land. They are glad that you are stupid and don't know how to defend yourself and won't defend yourself. Let's go. Let me read that to you right now. Let's stop right here. Well, let me see.
Doing the medical examination to cover it up.
Well, we have to do just like we did. You get out there and you get on the ground and fact find yourself. When we went out there to investigate, we didn't come out and march out in uniform and you know what I'm saying, get on the ground and fact
cases to be covered up. It takes the people to cover it up.
Well, we have to do just like we did. You get out there and you get on the ground and fact find yourself. When we went out there to investigate, we didn't come out and march out in uniform and you know what I'm saying, make our presence known and go on live on the ground. We did a few days.
You see what she's doing? She throwing shade on the Israelite camps that went down there in their uniforms. They made the public appearance just like Esau. They did exactly what Esau wanted to do. Never investigated. Never went in that college and started pulling people, snatching people up and putting them in their jails. We have to put these people in our jails. That's the only way we're going to do it. If we don't want to get out here and start deleting people. We want to give them due process. So we're going to investigate, and then when we get the story, we go arrest the criminals. That's the only way we're going to stop these people, man. And I'm going to show you in the scripture, if you got time. Let's see, we what, 16 minutes in? Is that, yeah, 16 minutes in. We're going to go another 16 minutes. And I'm going to read the scriptures to you to show you everything I said. I should jump back and forth in them. But, yeah, I think I will. I'm going to go show you some scriptures. Because right now she is telling you that just making public appearances is really doing nothing for the gathering. Let's keep listening to her, man.
Which if somebody was seriously trying to do and talk to the people, and when you talk to the people, you'll find our people got plenty of sense. I'm telling you, I was so proud of them people. Half the people, let me put it like this. It's like this is really a split.
That's what I was going to ask.
Okay, so what she's saying, there are some people that will unite with us and do the investigation. And not only should we do the investigation, we should hold the criminals accountable, right? That's the only way they're going to take us serious as a real nation, is we got to hold them accountable and let them negotiate with us for their criminals. If you want us to release your criminals, then you got to take them and put them in your jails. And we got to see that you're punishing them accordingly. If not, the next time we grab one of y'all and put you in jail, we're going to punish you according to God's laws, right? And we're not going to kill you. We're going to put you in jail where you're supposed to be. We're going to use the same laws on y'all that y'all use on us. How about that? Okay? We're going to treat y'all prisoners like y'all treat us. When we violate y'all, y'all don't negotiate to give us back to our, you can help us set our communities up where we can have jails, have our own political system and everything. They're not going to do that. So I'm sounding just as foolish as some of these people when I say what they can do. They're not going to do it. We got to do it. That's the bottom line. So I'm going to read you a couple of scriptures. There's a lot in this video, and I'm going to talk through it, give my commentary. But she got a lot more to say about gathering together. Okay, so first of all, I want to show you in the book of Maccabee, first Maccabees, first chapter, where we were talking about the 501c3, right? We was talking about the 501c3 is a license that is a contract and a license, and how it's a wicked thing to get a license, to have the heathens give you license to keep their ordinances, right? Let's read this. Then certain of the people were so forward herein. They are forward herein. In other words, I'm taking that to believe to mean that they are in bed with Esau already. They are already enjoying the pleasures of the kingdom of Esau's wicked kingdom. So they deep, they deep in, they enjoying the kingdoms, the glamour, the luxury, they're living above their poverty level, and so they're enjoying it. They too deep to see clearly, right? The gifts have destroyed their hearts and their minds. Okay, they were so forward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinance of the heathens. So they gave them license to build and to build a little Israelite kingdom to keep their little, as long as you keep our customs and as long as you do after the heathens and, you build your community with us having remembering, build your community and always keep your allegiance to the heathens like the heathens do. Now, this is talking about Alexander the Greek here. He joined all the heathens, all the heathens to be one people. As long as you continue to be one people, you can keep our heathen customs, and we'll give you license so you can get the benefits. Secret Treaty of Verona, right? So you can do whatever you got to do, false doctrine, whatever, collect tithes, whatever. Send me your god dog tithes. Send them tithes in. Okay, you can build your little resorts. You can have your little feasts and festivals over to the side. As long as you give reverence, you say, okay, it's 4th of July. This is preachers now. This is pastors. We celebrating Easter, Bunny Rabbit. Celebrate Christmas. Now you can enjoy as long as you can enjoy and have fun in our kingdom, as long as you don't make reference to your customs, right? So you can have a 501c3 and enjoy the benefits of not paying taxes, as long as you do not organize politically, as long as you don't say, we are not under your jurisdiction, we are not sovereign, General Yohan. That's why you always hollering, we ain't sovereign. This is Esau's kingdom. We ain't sovereign. How you gonna be sovereign? As long as you don't organize politically, now y'all heard the woman say it, then we will give you these scraps off from under the table, dogs. As long as you don't say, well, we don't keep, we have another, we have allegiance to the Most High's kingdom. You can say that all you want, but you better say, but we keep the laws of the land, Nathan ben Israel. As long as we keep the laws of the land, then they ain't got to worry about you, right? Because what they don't want you to do, the addition of Esther, is bring out those laws of the Most High God, right? And you can do it, but you also got to, it's just got to be like a banner you raising. But as long as you come back and say, well, we still under the jurisdiction of the United States, we still in slavery. Don't break out of slavery. So long as all the people you got gathered up with you agree to your organizational policy that they will keep the laws, and if we got any warrants on any of your people, or y'all see them breaking the law, y'all turn them into us. They happy with that. You can keep living in your rich house out in the white neighborhood and stuff. You can buy some land and set up your Israelite-only cities and stuff like that, as long as you still recognize us as your leaders, as your government leaders. You never try to break out of the fold, the sheepfold, the red line that we got you in. Okay? Okay. Whereupon they built places of exercise at Jerusalem according to the customs of the heathens. Let me show you something else here. Second Esther 15. And this is the Most High. This is how he feel about you exercising your will and allowing the heathen to exercise his will on us. This is how he feel. He said, I will hold my tongue. 2nd Ezra 15 and 8. I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit. Touching their wickedness, they're profanely committing this. Open. Neither will I suffer them in those things which they wickedly exercise themselves. Okay? Exercise means a constant repetition of something. Constant repetition of something. Right? Behold, the innocence of the righteous, innocent and the righteous blood crieth out to me, and the souls of the just complain constantly. Right? So, what we're actually doing when we exercise ourselves in their laws, we continue to allow them and tell our people we have to keep their laws. We're allowing them to exercise their jurisdiction over us. And that way, we're continually pledging allegiance to this wicked nation. We're in contract with them. We are saying we renounce our citizenship. This is what we're saying. We renounce our citizenship to the Most High, the kingdom of God. We are renouncing our citizenship to Israel. All right? Okay, and it's another thing with that 501c3 and keeping the laws of the land. This is what you're doing. First Maccabee 1 and 11. In those days went out of Israel wicked men, that's Israelites, camps, who are saying we are still in captivity. Not captivity, we're still slaves. We're not free. We're still slaves. And we have to obey the laws of the wicked. They are wicked. I ain't talking about running a stoplight or nothing like that. That's an ordinance that we should keep to stay safe. We're talking about getting these licenses. We're talking about declaring that we don't have a law that's greater than their law. Their law is greater than the Most High laws that we should be keeping. If we're keeping their laws, all of their laws are contrary to us because they are claiming sovereignty. They're claiming to be white. They're claiming sovereignty over us. They're making us pledge allegiance to their nation where they can govern us with the wicked Jim Crow laws. We see what laws that we are keeping. Jim Crow laws. Don't let no Israelite camp tell you that we are governed by good laws. All of their laws, they operate in them against us as Jim Crow. They're Jim Crow. Right? They're not humane toward us because they are the ones implementing and presiding over us with those laws. Okay? So, let's see. In those days went out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make covenant with the heathens that are round about us, for since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. See, that's the problem why we can't gather together. This scripture right here in the thinking of, I told you, I'm going to show you how our people think. This is how we think, right here. They all around us. We got to go out in these here's the way the camps and the camp members think when we got to go out in these streets and teach. Not all of them. I got to stop and say not all of them. We got some strong brothers out there now, but those major two camps, this is how they think. They are all around us. When we out there, we are vulnerable. We out there, the police is everywhere all around us. And if we declaim our sovereignty and start teaching people that sovereign message that Obed Israel is saying we should teach, that the only way we're going to gather up, that we're going to gather up and gather up people who are not saying that they're Israelites. They don't have on the purple shirts or the black and white uniforms either. They're not a part of ISUPK or IUIC. They're not claiming to be a part, but they're claiming to be other than American, other than African Americans. They're claiming to be other than Negro, black, colored. They're saying that they were indigenous to this land and they are not a part of the United States government because we cannot be. And they have proven to us that they are not for us. They are not like us. They are not for us. And we can't trust their political stance. And we're going to create our own political stance. And that's what the churches and with the 501c3 and the Israelites with the 501c3, that's what they cannot do because they will be forced to pay all of them taxes back that they let them get away with. It's a money thing. So, this is what they're saying. These heathens will make our life horrible, miserable. So this device pleased them well. So these Israelites, it's a broad road now. Everybody run in there. They safe. Okay, they safe. Them Israelites is safe because they saying, they'll stand up under the umbrella of the United States. That way we'll stay safe. They won't attack us. But these that's why I don't have anybody. I got followers, but they secret followers, They listening. And if the tide ever turns where the people who will stand up and fight and stand against the wicked nations, the heathens, when they start falling, all of them people that are hiding up under, if they get a chance of hiding up under those Israelite camps that got the 501c3, they're going to run back out. They're going to run out of there. And the people who are standing up when they see the Most High delivering them, they're going to be really strong, dedicated warriors to their nation. Not the ones under them camps and saying the cowards are saying we better stay under here and stay and keep our allegiance pledged to this United States and stay under their jurisdiction and cause all them people to come and get a contract, keep the covenant with the heathens. Y'all got all them people, y'all misleading under that covenant with the heathen, talking about you gonna turn them in and if you got a warrant, you can't be in this group. If the white man got you a warrant out for you, you can't be within this group. What the hell? You think God's gonna let that stand? All of that's gonna fall, man. And all you people that's holding that wickedness up, y'all better get your minds together first, man. Because I guarantee you, when God start bringing this nation down, the people that's standing now are the ones that's going to be the leaders of this thing. Not y'all that's just going to run over here, just going to stay there and look, I thought we had it right. Stay there and watch the sky fall down on your head. Y'all going to have to be taken into custody and tried. You're going to have to be tried with fire so you can know who you really stand for. Because right now, y'all don't want no fire or no smoke. Y'all won't stand. And I'm going to show you why right here in the scriptures. Then certain other people were so forward therein. Okay, so we read that. Let me see. Yeah, we read that. gave license and ordinance to the heathens, right? We read that. Let's see. Okay. Okay. So let's jump down to verse 16. We see where we see in these uh, uh, former verses, we see they describing how the Israelites began to do as the heathens, right? And so verse 16, let's go. Let's see, verse 15, and made themselves uncircumcised and forsook the holy covenant and joined themselves to the heathen and were sold to do mischief. That's the whole purpose of them getting us to unite, to assemble into their customs, because they know if we are assembled into their mischief and their wicked kingdom, then we will not receive power and deliverance from the Most High. And so, in verse 16 say, now when the kingdom was established, the United States is well established, right? The United Government Corporation is well established. When the kingdom was established before Antiochus, he thought to reign over Egypt, that he might have dominion over two realms. That's the thing right now. That's what we're going through now. They want dominion over the Israelites, but they want us to be one people under their government. They want to say, y'all, you are Greeks. You are Americans. You are United States citizens, but you do not have the same power or the same privileges as Edomite citizens or the other nations. Israelites, you can be a part of this realm, dominion. You can be a part of this realm that we have dominion of, but you will be on the bottom of the totem pole, right? You will stay on the bottom. We will not let you off the bottom, because if we do, you'll rise to the top, right? Because this is your kingdom, and you'll go back to keeping those laws like you always have, and we will descend to the lower parts of the earth. All right. So that's where they're at now. This is Egypt. This is Babylon. They want dominion over Egypt, where we are. The territory that we are in, wherever we are, is Egypt. It's slavery. It's dominion, all right? Their dominion. They got to keep dominion. So they're never going to deliver you. They're never going to restore you. They're never going to redress you, give you back what they took from you. You're never going to get your heritage, your inheritance that our forefathers left us. We were a people. We are just as old as the Edomites. And basically, Abraham, Shem is just as old as Ham and Japheth. We were all established as nations at the same time after the ark touched down. We have just as much right to live on the earth without paying any of these other nations rent and insurance payments for our life. God gave us dominion and freedom just like he gave them. But they have united together, Psalms 83, to cut us off from our freedom and our dominion to rule over ourselves. They have injured us, and they will not allow us to address our injury. They will not let us come and before any courts or any of their magistrates and express our injuries and claim injury. They won't let us claim injury. They say we didn't do it. But we know it's the system that they hold in place that is continually holding us under Jim Crow laws. It's also the power they have of our inheritance. They are using our inheritance as their power to hold us in place. Our water, our electricity, our trees, our land, right? Everything we have invented, they have taken patent over and using our inventions to hold us in captivity, to hold us powerless, so they might have dominion over us in this realm, two realms. So they let you know. They know it's two realms. There's two people that should be ruling, be sovereign wherever they are. It's the indigenous people and it's the colonizers who have invaded the indigenous people. That's two realms. They're doing that all over every land except for their own. They should be back in Mount Seir. Mount Seir, that's where they should be, in their land. But they are in everybody else's land, controlling two realms, to have dominion over the indigenous people and, okay, not to be redundant. So that's what's happening, right? We see what's happening. We see what their objective is to hold dominion over the indigenous people, everybody's land and theirs. That's Esau's blessing. He had to kill to live. He had to sin to live. He had to hurt people at home, in their homes, go to their homes door to door and hurt them to live. That's the only way he can live, because if not, we'll come back together and we'll unite as one and force them to go back to where they came from, to stay on their side of the fence or the tracks, like they used to say. So let's listen to a little bit more, and then I'm going to end this.
There's nothing to see here. But that other half, they say, yeah, that's the way it is here. And, you know, they say we like it. They say they stick to their side and we stick to our side. But we have to come together, those who, the half of us who are not afraid, from the new Black Panther Party to the little old lady, to the young students, to the workers, the people in Grenada, in Texas, in Memphis, and in Louisiana, in Georgia. We come together and we stick to a cause. We stick to an issue in unity and say, no, we're not going to let off the gas. That's what it's going to take. Remember, like what happened in Gina? When people came, Gina, Louisiana, they had them little boys about to go do 22 years in jail for having a fight for same thing in a town in 2008 that was segregated. They got into a fight for standing under the whites only tree, remember? And the white boys hung a noose. Mm-hmm. And when them boys started fighting, the DA, the district attorney, said that because the young brother had kicked the white boy, that was attempted murder, and the stick was a weapon. Remember that. Let's not forget that. Now, when Black people across America descended upon that redneck, racist DA at that courthouse, and everywhere they looked, it was Black people, every corner, thousands of Black people. They sent in old, you know I'm talking about, old perm head to try to calm people down. And try to get people to leave. I'm an eyewitness. I still today have the paperwork where this wannabe so-called leader tried to get the people to leave Gina the day of the demonstration and go to Alexandria. And we said, no, we're going to stand. We're going to stand. You're going to let this boy out of jail. Michael Bell was his name. We said, we're not leaving until you let this boy out of jail. They called everybody to get us off that stage. They sent them all up there. We said we were going to stand, and the people said they were going to stand. We tired of this. So of course, we didn't want the people to get hurt. We dispersed before the sun went down. And we said, we're going to be back. We're not leaving your town, your city. We'll be right back. The next day, what did they do? They showed they get a reverend such and such with the perm to come out that jailhouse with that boy. Yeah. And now to today, those young babies are free and graduate.
Now you see, that's all I'm saying. That's all we're saying. We have to come together And we don't have to just start going around and pulling people out of their houses. We come together on those issues of injustice. We are the justice to our, we unite when they try to take jurisdiction over us and, and harm us. When they harm us, then we come together to stop the harm. That's all I'm saying. We can do that first. We can do that first. Well, she just laid it out perfectly and beautifully. And I don't understand why our leaders who can tell us every law in the Bible and tell us they got so much wisdom and stuff, but when it comes down to this, right? I'm going to read you. You know what the Maccabees did. When the perm heads came out, when the perm heads, the Al Sharpton, the Nates, and the General Yohanas and their captains came out and said, hey, let's keep the law of the land now. Come on now, y'all. Let's not unite together. Because, we are the leaders of the earth. We out in the street teaching. We out in the streets teaching. Y'all ain't. Y'all at home on the computer, so don't listen to nobody but us. But these people have to go and unite and get and protect the Israelites who are not awake. They are asleep. They have to go get them out of the hands of the dragon and the wolves and the bears and stuff. Out of the tiger cages, the lion dens, pull them out of the fiery furnace. They the people that's got to do this. Because ain't no Israelite camps going to do none of that. Ain't no leaders, them two leaders that rule them with them camps. They scary. They just two scariest men leaders I ever seen in my life. Because they ain't scary. They're caught up in that gift that they got, all that money. They never had that kind of money before. And really, you ain't supposed to have all that money. That's supposed to be in the storehouse for the Israelites and not just the camps that sit up and pat you on the back and bow down and hugging your leg, telling you how great you is. Oh, that was so heavy. Oh, that's so heavy. You better not you call him Bishop. You better not call him by his first name. You kids, you young men, a bunch of childish kids, man. Worship men when you should be standing for your nation, man. And if those leaders that want you to worship him on the throne, you need to take them off that damn throne that they sitting on and throw their ass into the garbage heap. Every man has dominion over his own life. And the laws of the Most High God is what keep us in his citizenship. Everybody on this earth should be following the laws of the Most High God. And you see that now. And they showing it to you every day. That as long as they in rule, they going to keep you under Jim Crow laws and keep you on the bottom. So that's what's pushing our people to gather together. Not these Israelites coming out in their pretty little uniforms and stuff like she said, come out and just making public appearances and then run back in their hole. No. Run back in the safety of the gang of 1 million or 2. Yeah, y'all gonna be bad and strong, but get in that foxhole and see what happens. Y'all can't come out the foxhole now. Just like I look at all these Edomites that try to talk like they so bad. We see what the Black Hawk Down, we see what them Somalians did to the special forces. And if you was in any war, those bad soldiers that talking about we was military and we was this, we see them same little Edomites stayed in the foxhole crying. It was us that had to be deployed to take that Hamburger Hill. Those bunkers where they shoot machine guns. We ran all up sideways, bipped and bobbed and ducked until we got to them bunkers to throw explosives in them machine gun bunkers and took them hills from the enemy. We went down in those tunnels and dug those Vietnamese out. Yeah, we wasn't even supposed to be there. But we did that. Not you Edomites. When y'all first went to Vietnam, man, or all the other wars, the white men was tearing y'all's ass up. Your white brothers, white on white crime, United States white people, United States so-called Edomites was getting their ass tore up by all these other nations. Y'all didn't win no damn wars. Buffalo Soldiers, from the Buffalo Soldiers all the way to Civil War, y'all was losing that. The damn South was losing that until they recruited the Indians, the indigenous Northern and Southern Kingdom. Then, and they started beating the Union, and the Union was led by the Most High. This was all staged and set up by the Most High so we could go in punishment. Y'all wasn't taking us in punishment without the Most High. Y'all wasn't subduing us without the Most High giving the upper hand, raising, like Moses had to keep his hands held up. The Most High had to keep y'all's hands held up so y'all could win the battle, right? Because y'all wasn't whooping the Israelites. And you ain't going to whoop him. Now he didn't let y'all's hands go. Now where your power at? You don't have the blessings from the Most High to hold us in captivity. And like this woman said, all we have to do is start uniting in big groups over issues. When y'all wrongly, justly force us under your jurisdiction, just come and stand. And say, let's see you go home past this crowd after you got killed one of our brothers and sisters. Let's see you come out of your house past this 3 million people in this crowd. Let's see how you do. Just come past us. Come out the house. Don't make us come in and get you. And take them and put them in jails. Let's see your army. Let's see your 100,000 man army subdue this 5 million man army here. You don't have enough guns and you don't have enough people, and you nations are going to stop bullying us. It takes a woman right here, this woman right here. It takes her to say we can do this. And they believe in the Most High God. So don't say they ain't. And I'm gonna show you in the scriptures where you make a choice. Well, should I keep the law or should I stop these people from killing me? Let me show you that right now. Okay. What we see here, we're reading First Maccabee, 2nd chapter, 35th verse, and it's talking about after Antiochus gave the decree that everybody should bow down and worship the Greeks and his gods and his representatives and his government officials and, the king. And so his majesty. So they fled. The people who said, we're not going to keep your laws and your customs, they fled into the wilderness. They ran, they gathered together, the few of them, and they ran and got away from them. They came out from them. They left them in the same region. They stayed in the region, but they hid from them. They went and hid. They didn't stand up and trust God. They went and hid. They was dependent on themselves like the Israelites. We good people, we keeping the laws, and that's what's going to keep us safe. Let's read. So then they gave them the battle with all speed. Let me see. Okay, yeah. They pursued them and started fighting the people who ran, right? Howbeit they answered them not, neither did they cast a stone at them and stop the place where they were laid hid, right? So in other words, they saying the people, when they was hid out, and as they was pursuing them and attacking them, the people didn't fight back. Okay? All right, so they chased them, they pursued them. And so verse 37 said, but instead of them fighting back, they said, let us die all in our innocence. In other words, we ain't breaking the law. God said, wait on him. Here's what the Israelite camps are saying. Most High said, don't fight these people back. It's prophesied that they're going to take us, put us in jail. They're going to do this. They're going to do this to us. We shouldn't stand and get guns and stand up against these people, right? So here's the answer to that. But they said, let us all die in our innocence. In other words, it was like saying, don't help nobody when they're attacking the other Israelites. Don't help them. Let's just run in our places and hide and unite together and keep keeping these laws. Just keep keeping these laws. In our innocence, heaven and earth will testify for us that ye put us to death wrongfully. Right? Even if we die, we gonna come back, and we gonna come back when Jesus come back. When Jesus said, get guns, buy weapons, buy swords to protect yourself. I'm coming back, but I'm the one laying my life down this time, not y'all. Y'all ain't laying y'all life down. I'm not asking y'all to do that. He didn't ask us. He never asked us to lay our life down and just let them walk over us. What he said is that, I'm going to read that to you too. So they rose up against them in battle on the Sabbath. And it's because they said, we ain't going to break the law. If they come and attack us on this Sabbath, we just going to be innocent and die innocent, okay? So they rose up against them in battle on the Sabbath, and they slew them and their wives and their children and their cattle to the number of 1,000 people. So you got 1,000 people. Y'all gonna run and hide and ain't gonna fight back. Israelite camps. Now, listen to this. Now, when Matthias, this is Israelite, when Matthias and his friends understood thereof, they mourned for them right sore. They really cried. They were really sorry that happened to them. And one of the Israelites said to another, if we all do as our brethren have done, and fight not for our lives and laws, fight not for our lives and the law. We got to fight for our lives and the law. We have to fight for our lives and the law. We have to fight for our lives, not lay them down and say the angels going to come and fight for us. No, we have to fight for our lives and the law. That means their law is not the law. We got the law. Fight for our lives and the law against these heathens. They will now quickly root us out of the earth. That's what we're trying to stop, right? So if the Most High bring them on us, we ain't supposed to bow down. We're supposed to fight. I'm reading this backwards, but I'm going to show you the beginning of that last part I just read. Now, when it was told the king's servant and the host that was at Jerusalem in the city of David, that certain men who had broken the king's commandments were gone down into the secret place in the wilderness, they pursued after them a great number, and having overtaken them, they camped against them and made war against them. That's what's happening to us now. They're coming in our communities and camping against us because we saying we are not your citizens no more. We never was. We are the indigenous people. We're taking our sovereignty back. And Donald Trump said, well, we going to bring. And Donald Trump and what's that other guy's name? That guy that said that, they're saying we should just go from house to house and get rid of these Israelites. Give us the word, Donald Trump. And then this other guy, he's bragged about how great of warriors they were, and how where they came from war. They came from war countries, and they were. He's talking about these people. He said, we were the Greeks, we were the Greek empires, we were the Roman empires, and we are great warriors, and we're going to show these people who we were. We seeing who you were. We watching. I'm reading who you were right now. I'm reading who you were, and we got history showing that the world ran y'all asses up in them caves during the Dark Ages. 30 of y'all. It was but 20 women, 10 women, and 20 men. Y'all went up in them caves, God doing God knows what. And you hid, because God ain't letting the wicked stay on the earth. He gonna get rid of that cancer off the earth. He didn't create the earth for wickedness to rule, take over, and rule, to have the title deed to the earth forever. He gave y'all your chance. The end of the Gentile time is now. It's happening now. Okay? And they said unto them, let that which ye have done hitherto suffice. Come forth and do according to the commandments of the king. But they said, we will not come forth, neither will we do the king's commandments. So that's how they pursued them and kept pursuing them until they destroyed them on the Sabbath day. Okay, so we read here, First Maccabee 2, and we're going to read 40 again. One of them said unto another, this was after the people were killed on the Sabbath day, they mourned for them. Remember, we just read that too. One of them said to another, if we all do as our brethren have done and fight not for our lives and the law and against the heathens, they will now quickly root us out of the earth. And at that time, therefore, they decreed, saying, they made their mind up and said, this is what we're going to do. We declare, we swear an oath. This is how we're going to handle the situation. Whosoever shall come to make battle with us on the Sabbath day while we keeping the laws, if they come to try to harm us while we're keeping the laws, yeah, we're keeping the laws. We are Israelites. We're trying to keep our covenant with the Most High. We have reunited to his citizenship. We are citizens of Israel. We will fight against him. Neither will we die all. As our brothers that were murdered in secret places. So y'all gonna run and scatter out there. They gonna come and hunt y'all down in y'all places and kill you. When you should stand together as one and fight back. That's what it's saying. That's what the Bible's saying. He just meant this, did he just mean this for them at that time, right? Then came there unto him a company of Assyrians, who were mighty men of Israel, even all such as were volunteer devoted unto the law. They kept the law. See, it's people out here that'll fight, that's been keeping the law at home, while you Israelites standing around telling them, no, we keep the law of the land. God got other men out here that you don't know that's keeping the law, that are warriors, that's going to come and join you if you only stand your scary butts up. And they are devoted to the law. Also all they that fled for persecution joined themselves unto them and were a stayed unto them. So as we stand up to fight, I want y'all to realize this, as we stand up to resist these devils and resist their jurisdiction, we're going to have men to come and join us. All our nations going to come back together. That's how we're going to come back together and unite, like Hosea saw us gather together. That's the way. This is what I've been trying to tell y'all. I can't get it through y'all's head. It's not running to them Israelite camps. Fine, run to them right now. But remember, we're going to have to fight one day. We're going to have to stand up and resist these devils. And as we do, as people see us, nobody going to join them Israelite camps. Not no real fighting men. Not no real fighting soldiers. Because they love their life. Them people joining them now and love their life. They not going to fight. They love that, prestige they getting. They love that edification. All the world looking up to us. Look at this. And y'all a bunch of cowards, man. The real soldiers is going to come when the war starts. So they joined their forces and smote sinful men. We're going to get rid of them sinful men first, right? That's what's happening. So I tell you, man, y'all still hustling and selling dope and hurting your people and killing each other over territory. We got to get rid of y'all first. The Most High gonna give. He's doing that right now. Keep some of the blood off our hands. Y'all killing each other, and the enemy is coming in, killing y'all, destroying y'all right now. The sinful people of Israel. Sinful men in their anger, and the wicked men in their wrath. But the rest fled to the heathens for secure. Now the rest of y'all gonna say, keep saying. Now some of y'all gonna get the wicked, sinful men. You're gonna get smoked because in your anger, you angry. You're just gonna go out there angry and just start fighting without uniting, without first standing against the heathens and declaring we come in peace and just do things the right way. We're going to do things the right way. If y'all violate us, we're going to come and get you, put you in prison. Some of y'all just going to go out there and start killing people. Y'all going to get killed too. They going to fight you back and kill you. God going to let you get killed. Then some of y'all just wicked. Just going to keep doing your wicked. Just out here raping, robbery. When the stuff jump off, you're going to act like regular war criminals. And the Most High going to take y'all out. But the rest of y'all who don't want to fight and don't want to be a part of Israel, I got white kids and I got a white wife, and blase. I don't like black people. I'm half white. I'm mixed. Y'all gonna run. The heathen's gonna take y'all in. The heathen's gonna take y'all in. Although they're going to keep you on the bottom, y'all going to continue to be slaves. That's happening right now. Y'all see what's happening. People gather together ready to fight. You got wicked. You got people sinful. You got angry men. And then you got people say, I'm just going to keep being an Afro-American. I'm going to keep being a YN. I'm going to keep being an FBA. Yeah. I'm Negro, black, and color. Can't we all live together? Y'all going to keep doing that, right? All praise to the Most High.
With the perm to come out the jailhouse with their boy. Yeah. And now to today, those young babies are free and graduated college and everything since then. It takes people standing up for our people. Why did the pig get indicted finally that killed George Floyd? He was going to get away with it. But the people of America stood up and said, no, this is not happening. It takes the power of the people. That's the only solution. Whenever we want something, we have to stand up because the DA most of the time the DA is in cahoots with the police because they count on the police for their testimony. They have way more resources than we have. We don't have no resources. We patched up. You got gas money. You got gas money. You got gas money.
Let's stop right there.
You got the rental car, and we got on the ground, and we went into Mississippi, where everybody afraid of.
Let's stop right there.
Yeah, I kind of watched the video backwards, but he's going back into that first part we watched and talk about how money would help these. Money will help, but money's going to be obsolete. The Bible said they're going to forget about their money. They're going to stop being motivated and driven for money purposes, and they're going to just be on bringing the wicked down. The righteous going to forget about their money and where we going to eat and, all that's got to stop. The money cannot be an issue for us because we'll never gather up as long as we got money. So God going to cut that money system off. He going to have the Edomites and the wicked to stop, make sure that you can't use their money. You ain't going to have no money. They're going to cut you off from everything. You're going to be poor and broke. Everybody going to be equal, broke. Or either if you still try to hold on to your money, God gonna separate you the hard way. You rich people, the people that we just discussed is gonna stay in the security of the heathens is probably the rich people too. Mainly the rich people, rich black people, rich Israelites. So yeah, we're gonna have 4 different category of people out here on the earth now. We got the Israelites who say, we have had enough. There's nothing to live for. Did I show y'all that? Let me see. Okay, I want to show you the what's going to force us to say, let's stand up right here. Maccabees, 2nd chapter. And behold, that our sanctuary, even our beauty and our glory, laid waste, and the Gentiles have profaned it. They profaned everything, our lands, our inheritance. They have taken them over. They got us our image. They got our image profaned. Yeah, they brought our image down. We are dirty, like we saw in slavery. You can't believe we are those people that they had marching us through in them chains and our hair cut off, wearing them raggedy clothes. Our beauty is profaned, our glory laid waste, and the Gentiles have profaned everything that we built, and our whole reputation with the Most High as being His chosen people above all people on the face of the earth. We are not the gods of the earth. When we realize that the place that we held, our status that we held in the American kingdom, in this United Corporation, is not worth anything anymore. That's the main thing. When we realize that our status and all of this vainglory that we had, the vainglory, and that the beauty that we call beauty, the blonde hair, the blonde hair and the house next door to your Edomite neighbors, when we find out that all of that is vanity and it ain't nothing, to what the end, verse 13, to what the end thereof shall we live any longer? That's what we're going to say. Why should we live any longer? Why should we live any longer in this kingdom? It ain't bringing us no joy, no edification. We ain't got nothing to look forward to. We ain't happy no more. We hungry. We being pursued. Now our people coming out of slavery, they migrated to a better place. They left the South. And that's what we're gonna have to do to get us to migrate out of these neighborhoods and stuff and unite back together. God's got to bring us back to this place. And that's where we were coming out of slavery. And that's why we were easily able to unite together, come out of wherever they had us captive at, come out of those places and build up Black Wall Street, Fountain Square, all these other black towns, segregate ourselves and start building, and God start blessing. The blessings pursued us. Okay, so then Matthews and his son rent their clothes and put on sackcloth and mourned very sorely. Okay, so that's what's got to happen. So all praises to the Most High. That's where we are until we get sick and tired of being sick and tired in this kingdom. We are not going to do anything but keep suffering with the Jim Crow laws, keep suffering with them mistreating us, redlining our district. Once we see we can't go any farther with these people, that's when we're going to rent our clothes. We're going to count ourselves hopeless, and as long as we stay united with these people, we got to get, because we can see we're going to have a better kingdom. We're going to have a better life if we break ties with these people. But we can't really see it. A lot of us can't see it. That's why the Most High is having them to do it, to push us down as far as we can go, to torture us and to pursue us and ambush us and do everything to get us, like you would beat an animal or something to scare them away from your backyard. You do everything to discourage them from coming around you. That's what they're doing now. But the thing about it is, they have all our resources. They have corralled and fenced in all the resources. So, we don't want to be around them, but we can't survive. We feel like we can't survive without them. So we're going to have to trust in the Most High. And that's what He's having them do, push us away so we can turn our face back to our land and bethink ourselves and start trusting in the Most High. He's going to deliver us and put up a wall against them. He's going to raise up a standard against them. That's what he's doing. In our minds, we got to build a standard. We better than them. We better than what they trying to say we are. We ain't thugs. We ain't drug addicts. They set a system up and forced us to stay in that system. So what else could we do? Now the Most High is breaking down the walls of that system. So all praises to the Most High. We look forward. Let's pray against these people. Let's keep asking the Most High to bring them down. Let's keep praying that the chariots and the eyes of the Lord is coming through and watching, going to and fro. These chariots are coming through and doing miracles and delivering us and giving us directions and being a flare in the wilderness to guide us. So we thank God for all the saviors on the earth and all the people who have woken up and is uniting and just trying to be better, rehearsing the righteous acts, and stand and not be a coward, and unite. When something happens, we got to run to the rescue. Y'all right in the city, man. Ain't no way y'all supposed to be standing up taking pictures of police and just regular old white men. The police, when they break the Constitution, when they break their covenant against us to stay on their side and not take away our godly rights and not harm us and injure us. When we stand up and watch them injure us, injuring our people, we just stand there and pull the camera out, pull the phone out and say, I'm going to take a picture of this. God going to tear y'all wicked heads off, man. Y'all wicked. That's wickedness. To stand up and watch your brother be somebody force the blood out their body, man, or the life out their body. Y'all wicked as hell and y'all going to receive the same judgment. So all praises to the Most High. Let's stand up and be like Moses, man, and don't want to live with these heathens. I don't care what they got, what they offer you. You should suffer with your people, man. All right.